show you how to fit a reversible footboard to a Brookfield chair. I should point out as well that this is exactly the same procedure for the Heathfield chair, so they can be interchanged. Here is our reversible footboard. Reversible because if I have it this way up, the footboard sits flat to the ground. But if I reverse it, I've lifted it, I've raised it by approximately 1 inch, slightly over an inch, which can just be enough to support a child's feet. Fitting it is really simple. Firstly, decide which way up you want it to be. And then it's simply a question of sliding it either side of the legs of the Brookfield, like so, until these slots are level with the legs. Once you have them level, like this, offer up your bolt, which should find a slot there. Do the front first, because that allows you to position it where you want. You can go slightly forward, slightly back, whichever. I'm going to choose there. So. And then take your other bolt, and this one will go attached to the rear leg. Try not to flip the other bolts across the room at the same time. So that's that one. And then simply repeat the process on the other side. There we have fitted a reversible footboard. We fitted it the way round where the actual foot plate part is flat to the ground. If you do need to flip it over, simply remove the 4 bolts, flip the board over, put the bolts back, and that's all there is to it. So now let's show you how to fit a dolly base to the Brookfield. And again, the procedure for fitting a dolly base to a Heathfield chair is exactly the same. So, firstly, let's have a look at our dolly base. One thing to remember is that the cutout here at the back is at the back. The number of times I have gone out and seen that they have fitted dolly bases the wrong way round. The cutout obviously allows someone, if the user is being pushed, it stops feet banging into it, whereas if you put it the wrong way round, you'll be forever catching your feet on the trailing edge. So the cutout, it goes to the rear of the chair, okay, and then this part at the front, this acts as the footboard effectively. So you notice on the Brookfield chair there are some bolt holes here at the bottom of each leg. So all we're going to do is simply lift our Brookfield and offer it up to the dolly base. Now, first thing to do is make sure that we get our front feet, front legs lined up. So once you've got the front lined up, then the back will follow. So just quickly going to do the front and we'll do the front on this side. So once you've done the front, what I mean by the back will follow is that you can simply locate the holes on the rear legs here and secure using the bolts that are supplied. So just finishing off. Whoops. Gonna need a bigger desk. Lastly, the bolt goes in here. And there you have a Brookfield on a dolly. That allows the chair to be mobile, but it also gives the user a very good solid platform here that if they do try and extend, means that they're not pushing against the floor, so it minimises the risks of tipping the chair. But that's how you fit the dolly base. As I say, that's the same for the Brookfield and for the Heathfield chair. So now I'm going to show you how to fit mobile legs with casters onto a Brookfield. You should have 4 sets of legs which arrive, and they will also come complete with 4mm Allen key bolts. You'll probably get a little Allen key with it as well, but if you do have your own that's a little bit longer, it will make life a little bit easier. Firstly, what we need to do with the Brookfield is that the legs here, what we call outriggers, they need to come off, okay, because these are going to replace them. Now, hopefully you'll be able to see this, but when you look at the 2 outriggers here with the mobile legs, one has a slightly steeper angle at the bottom than this one. So the steeper angle that you see here is going to go on the back of the chair, and the shallower angle will go on the front. Okay. So now, let's have a little look. Firstly, what you need to do, as I said, is take the outrigger off. So I'm just going to take my Allen key, and I'm going to undo the bolts here. Like so. Removing those 2 bolts, that leg, particularly if it's a little bit new, might just need a little bit of a tap, because the resin here does have sticks to each other a little bit sometimes, but it's nothing to worry about, it's quite normal. So now I've removed that, I'm going to take my leg with casters on. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the Brookfield on its side, and I'm going to just offer up the chair, offer up the leg to the chair, and I'm going to make sure that this angle here is the same as the bottom of the leg, because I don't want it to be wrong. Now, the actual leg itself can be set to a number of different positions depending on the height that's needed. So you have all of these different holes down here which correspond with the 2 screw holes on the back here. So for argument's sake, we want it to be about there, which will lift the chair up. So I'm just going to put the chair on its back, because I find that a lot easier. Take one of my bolts that came supplied, put the leg to the position that you need, take the bolts, just note where that one is, finger tighten them first, And then again with your Allen key, just tighten them up. And then it is a simple question of repeating that process on each of the other legs until eventually you will have a Brookfield on 4 legs with wheels.